If you're too hot to cook, then I've got you covered. Today we'll be making 3 delicious lunches that require minimal cooking. No oven, no air fryer, and in fact 2 of the recipes only require a kettle or a toaster. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Earthy Goodness Kitchen. My name is George and I post weekly cooking and recipe videos, and I always provide the written recipe for free in the description or in the comment section. So I'll do a quick run through of the recipes. First up, we're making an amazing golden couscous and chickpea salad. We've got pomegranate, pepper, roasted hazelnuts, and a delicious dressing. And all you need to do is boil the kettle once. Next, we'll make a Mexican-inspired bean salad pita bread with a creamy chipotle dressing. And the only cooking required is 1 pop of the toaster. And then finally, a high-protein smashed avocado and edamame toast. And all this requires is a few minutes of simmering the edamame beans on the hob, and of course the toaster for the toast, and that is it. So let's cook some goodness. I've got my boiling water here. I'm just going to make a quick vegetable stock, just to add some additional flavor. I'm doing 1 part couscous to 1.25 parts hot vegetable stock. Then to a medium bowl, we'll add our couscous. Also going to add in some frozen peas, which have started to slightly defrost. For some additional flavor, I'm going to add some berbere spice, a really lovely Ethiopian spice mix. Just 1 teaspoon. It's got really lovely cardamom, fenugreek, coriander, lots of lovely spices. And I'm also going to add in some additional turmeric to make it really lovely and golden. A good grating of black pepper, a small pinch of salt, and then you can go in with your hot vegetable stock. Give that a really good mix. Smells incredible already, which is a good sign. And then cover this and leave it to cook. I'm just going to use a tea towel. Me and Poppy are enjoying some watermelon, although apparently my watermelon is more interesting than hers. You've got your watermelon, it's over there, Poppy. This is my watermelon. Is my watermelon tastier? So that will only take around 5 minutes to cook. We're going to prepare some additional ingredients, starting with some sweet and smoky jarred roast peppers. I'm just going to do 1 as it is quite a large pepper, and I'm just going to dice it. Next, I've got some fresh herbs. I've got some coriander and some mint here, but you can use any soft herbs like basil, parsley, that sort of thing. And to chop herbs like this, I just sort of bunch them up really tightly, like so. And this just makes it so much quicker to finely chop them. Make sure you're keeping your fingertips out of the way. And then once I've gone through them one way, I'll just go through them once the other way. I don't like to chop them up too much as you start to lose the flavor sort of into the chopping board, especially if you start to bruise them. Next up, we'll just grate a couple of small carrots. Okay, so we'll make the lemon ginger dressing here. Use your knife to remove any sort of tough bits of ginger first, and then you can use a teaspoon to remove the rest of the skin. This is the easiest way to do it. And it just means you take as little of the flesh as possible. Now, for some reason, I've been using this rather cheap, not particularly sharp zester, when in my knife bag, which has been hiding upstairs, I have a perfectly good microplane here. Or at least I thought it was microplane. Might be a different brand actually, but it is really nice and sharp. As you can see, I have far too many knives. This is the case I would take with me when private chefing. This isn't even all of them, to be honest. So we'll just zest this ginger into a small little bowl here. Oh yes, this zester is much sharper. I've got a selection of different citrus fruit in the fridge here. We've got some lemon and some orange, which I'm just going to juice in. And to that, I'm going to add a little olive oil, about a tablespoon, a small pinch of salt, and a little pepper. And that's it, just going to be a really simple lemon ginger dressing. Just give that a whisk to get it combined. Doesn't need to be really emulsified, just needs to be well mixed through, as the couscous is going to absorb it mostly. I'm not adding any maple syrup or sweetener, as all the veggies are quite sweet. And then once your couscous is cooked, just get a fork and we're going to fluff it up. Couscous and peas. I've got more couscous than I was expecting, so we're going to move to a larger bowl. And then I'm going to add in some chickpeas for some bonus protein and fiber, all the veggies that we prepped. Fresh herbs. This is a little naughty as they're not in season, but I'm going to add some pomegranate seeds. I just love that sort of tart pop of flavor. And for some extra crunch, some toasted hazelnuts or toasted seeds if you can't eat nuts. And that's it. We're going to finish it off with that beautiful lemon ginger dressing and give it a good toss. If you don't want to use pomegranate seeds, you could add some sultanas or raisins when you soak the couscous, or even some chopped dates could be nice. Such a colorful lunch. You just know this is going to do you some good. Shout out to my parents for giving me this beautiful green dish. So much goodness in this salad, looks incredible. And there you have a beautifully colorful golden couscous and chickpea salad. So many textures in there. It's starting to get pretty hot in here. I did pop this in the fridge just for 10-20 minutes to cool down a bit, as it's getting pretty toasty in here, and it is now just the perfect summer salad. You've got those lovely warming spices in the couscous, which is just delicious. Then you've got the crunch from the hazelnuts, the sweet and tangy burst from the pomegranate seeds, and just a bunch of veggies, bringing a bit of moisture and sort of juiciness to this salad. And I often find with summer salads, they're not really substantial enough, not filling enough, but with the chickpeas, the couscous, the hazelnuts, and also the peas, they have some good protein. It does actually fill you up. Definitely a winning summer dish in my books. Really easy to cook. You only have to boil one kettle and it is incredibly tasty. Enjoy. Okay, so next up we're making the Mexican inspired bean salad pita breads with a lovely creamy chipotle dressing. It is so good. For this creamy, smoky, and slightly cheesy dressing, we're going to start with some silken tofu. Then I've just got one small clove of garlic, some canned chipotle chili and adobo sauce. I freeze mine as I don't get through it quick enough to prevent it from going moldy. For the smoky flavor, I'm using some sweet smoked paprika. And this is my favorite brand. It's called La Chinata. And it is so good. A little bit expensive, but I think it's worth it. Then some ground cumin for that lovely earthy sweetness. And then we'll go in with the zest of about half a lime. Just make sure not to get any of the white pith, as that's going to be very bitter. And of course we'll add the juice as well. Just give the lime a quick roll on the chopping board to help release the juice. That's going to make this really nice and fresh. A touch of maple syrup to counter the spice from the chipotle. Just a little, just about half a teaspoon. And of course we'll do a good grating of black pepper and a pinch of salt. Almost forgot to give it that cheesy note. We'll add some nutritional yeast. And that's it, really nice and simple. We're just going to blend that until perfectly smooth and combined. And of course, make sure you give it a taste to adjust the seasoning. Wow, whew. That is good. It's smoky, spicy, cheesy, and refreshing all at the same time. So good. For some additional crunch and freshness in these pita breads, I'm going to make a quick sort of lettuce and coriander salad-y slaw. So I'm just going to finely slice some gem lettuce here. And then to that lettuce, just some finely chopped coriander or parsley. And then finally, just a squeeze of lime juice. This will add just a nice sort of crunchy contrast to the creamy bean salad. And just mix that through. Okay, for the bean salad, I'm going to keep this fairly simple. I've got a can of mixed bean salad here, and we've got some black beans as well. These have some strange little dressing on them, which I'm definitely going to wash off, and we'll give these a wash as well. Okay, I did not know that this bean salad was going to have green beans and pepper in, which are probably going to be really mushy, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And then just into a large bowl. And then I like to give it a light crushing with a potato masher. This is going to help it stay in the pita breads. Not too much though, we don't want complete mush. I'm also going to add in some diced red pepper for a nice bit of crunch. And then just a small amount of finely chopped red onion. I've just got a quarter of an onion here. And then finally, just a few cherry tomatoes, which I'm going to cut into quarters. These will add a nice sweetness and sort of burst of juiciness. Some are a bit bigger, so I'll cut into 6. And now for the fun part, add in that creamy dressing. I'm just going to add in half to start off with and get that really well mixed in. I think half is going to be plenty. Okay, and that is ready for our pita bread. I'm not adding any herbs as we've got the coriander in with the lettuce. So I actually made some wraps slash pita breads this morning as I didn't really like the look of any in the supermarket. So I'm just going to pop one of these into the toaster and we'll fill it up with that lovely creamy and smoky bean salad. This pita bread is pretty big, so we might have to turn it a couple times. Ah, that's not too bad. Okay, I'm going to cut this pita bread in half and hopefully we're going to be able to open it up if we're lucky. Yep, that's looking good. Nice little pita pocket. Well, that's slightly too crunchy, but that's all good. And we'll start with some of that shredded lettuce, of course. And then load it up with your bean salad. And there you go. That is going to be a very delicious Mexican-inspired pita bread. And lucky for me, I've got a few crisps hiding away in the cupboard, although they are mostly just crumbs now. And there you have your creamy and smoky Mexican bean salad pita bread. Okay, fully loaded pita bread here. That is really nice. Yeah, that is ticking the boxes. This is a really nice substantial summer lunch. Great maybe if you've gone exercising in the sun and you need replenishing. Almost like a refried bean pita bread, but upgraded with lots of veggies and that amazing smoky and creamy chipotle dressing. And then you get the crunch from that shredded lettuce and the freshness of the lime. Really, really lovely. Definitely give this one a try and let me know what you think. In case you missed it, I recently released my latest recipe ebook with 42 delicious recipes. You can scan this QR code or there'll be a link in the description box. To start things off, we're going to cook our frozen edamame beans. This is the only cooking we'll be doing, if you can call this cooking. I'll let these simmer until somewhat soft, probably around 4 to 5 minutes. You probably could just pour the boiling water over them and let them defrost, but I prefer to cook them a little bit longer. I find it helps with digesting them properly. Okay, these have softened up nicely, but still have a nice sort of freshness to them. They're not complete mush. So I'm just going to drain them off and give them a good rinse in cold water to stop them from carrying on cooking and to keep their nice green colour. You could dump them into ice cold water if you wanted to as well. I'm going to top this toast with some cherry tomatoes, which I'm just going to pre-season with some salt and pepper. Draw out some of that moisture and get them really nice and concentrated in flavour. Small drizzle of olive oil as well. And I'll just set them aside while we make the edamame and avocado spread. We are breaking out the food processor for this recipe. You could use a fork, but it's just easier in a food processor, fork or a potato masher. So in go the edamame beans. You could also use frozen peas or broad beans. You can then add either half an avocado or a whole one. It's up to you, depends how creamy you want it. I'm going to add a whole avocado, otherwise I probably just will forget about the other half. I'm going for a sort of pesto vibe with this spread, so I'm going to add a nice bunch of fresh basil. Trying to get rid of most of the stalks, but if a few get in, that's absolutely fine. Then some cashew nuts or pine nuts if you want. Pine nuts are generally quite expensive, so cashews are a slightly cheaper alternative. You could also use sunflower seeds, toasted sunflower seeds ideally. Next up, 1 garlic clove, which I'm just going to zest in. You could throw it in whole if you know you're going to blend it really smooth, but I may keep it slightly chunky, so just in case, I'm going to zest it in. And we're of course going to add some acidity. I'm going to go for some lemon juice, but you could use a little white wine vinegar or lime juice if you wanted. Next up, some nutritional yeast as a sort of parmesan alternative. Optionally, a small drizzle of olive oil. Small pinch of salt and a good grating of black pepper. And that's it, we're just going to blend it until it's lovely and smooth and creamy. You'll probably need to scrape down the sides once or twice. And I can just tell I'm going to want some more lemon juice in there. So I'm going to add another half a lemon. The first half was already slightly used, so it wasn't quite enough. And there you have a beautifully creamy pesto style edamame and avocado spread. High protein and full of healthy fats. Okay, so we're ready to serve. I've got some lovely toasted wholemeal sourdough here. And a little chefy tip, I've just used some of the dip to stick it to the plate so it's not sliding around. So we'll start with a few dollops of that delicious edamame and avocado spread. I quite like to do these sort of little waves of it. Definitely be generous with it. Next up, some cherry tomatoes. Beautiful. They're going to be lovely and sweet as they're in season. Then I've got some toasted pumpkin and sunflower seeds to add a little crunch. Also some hemp seeds, really nice and healthy. You're getting your omega fatty acids in there. And then we'll finish it off with a few fresh leaves of basil. Just place them around beautifully. So there you have your pesto-inspired smashed edamame and avocado toast with beautifully seasoned cherry tomatoes, some fresh basil, and some crunchy seeds. Okay, here we go. I've cut myself a little bit off. This one is next level. Honestly, this is so good. That edamame and avocado spread is just the most delicious thing ever. It's zingy, it's fresh, it's herby, and it's beautifully creamy. I've got a load of it left over as well, so I'm looking forward to dipping some carrot and cucumber sticks in there, or maybe some crisps as well. You've then got those juicy and sweet cherry tomatoes on top, the sort of nutty toasted seeds, and thinking about it, I reckon a little drizzle of balsamic glaze would be a delicious addition. I've loved all the dishes I've cooked today, but I'm thinking this might actually be my favorite. So give this a try and let me know what you think. Come back to this video and drop a comment. I've now got an insane amount of meal prep done, which is great when it's this hot because you don't want to cook too often. Thank you all for watching. If you want some high protein, refreshing smoothies, then check out this video.